Yo, and we're live. We're live. So let's see what's going on right now. Just a quick glance since we come on the charts. GU already said that this was the sweep, this was the breaker structure. Everything after that was just internal bullish action, just going up. But this would have been a decisional. Well, ideally here would have been a decisional. Or you can say here, this is the last point. Decisional, that got taken. Decisional got broken. And we've tapped into the extreme. This is just a demand zone that propelled price to go all the way up to go and reach here. So, currently, we're in this extreme point here. On the M15, where's that point? On EU. Oh, that point is here. All right. This is the structure that was broken. Ideally, I now need to take off this thing here because it's looking a bit. Oh, wrong one. Oh, wrong one. Fucking hell, bro. Alright, cool. So we know that this liquidity sweep here took out this point here. From here, we didn't take out this point here. This point here was taken out by this point here. And we know that got taken. In fact, it will be this point here. Would it be that point? It will be that point here. And this point here. And we came and took that out a little bit. Yeah, we came and took that out a little bit. And then we went up, breaking this point here. On E, this last point here. And what broke this point? These people like that. So let's just put this there for now. We know we can bring it down further, but let's just leave it there like that. And then now let's go back on the M15. I'm not gonna trade EU, I'm trading GU, but I'm just marking out GU so I have some sort of clarification in terms of what's about to happen. Because if I go on the M1 right now, what do I see? Currently we have delayed protraction sell there, it looks like, right? London high didn't get taken. Asia high didn't get taken. In fact, we might have taken Asia high. We did. After 12, we took out Asia high and started coming down. So we could be in a what? Normal protraction buy day. Possibly. For us to come down and then the rest of the day we're going up. Friday. Let's see what happens. Do we get a confirmation? We're about to find out. So on the M1, obviously the confirmation for us would have been, we had this little sweep here. Came down, mitigated, push out, done. Right. We've come up there again, and it looks like we're doing build up. And then we're just about to break this point here. So that's just on the M1. I'm just going to go on German 40 on my right quickly. I want to see something. Alright, cool. So we know that this will all be liquidity. Oh. I don't know how I drew it like that, but that will all be liquidity tapping into this demand zone. It didn't break this because, in fact, let me show you. So you see how this was broken from this point here. So this would have been the decisional. However, remember how this week we've been seeing that these demand zones, after breaker structure, they just keep kind of going. So we just follow the trend. What is the trend saying? We came to this demand zone, we took out that liquidity there. I showed you lot. Went up, hit the efficiency of the pullback basically, came back down, mitigate the demand, and we've gone up. And then now we're looking for that to break. But remember, we're in a supply zone. We're in a supply zone, so we can't be doing nothing yet. Let me just, I know I need to run through the full thing for you, but so far, it's because it's London Open, I'm a bit late, so I'm just looking at the entries right now. We don't want to miss it. Ooh, where's my phone? We don't want to miss no entry. No entry at all. Alright, cool. M15. Let me just put this here. I'll put this on the M1. Keep an eye on that one there. We're just waiting for this break here and a decision that led to that. We'll look to trade off that. If I'm looking at German, hourly. Okay, we can even bring this a further up like here. So we took out equal highs. Who loves that? Smart money. That's what Waka says anyway. But liquidity, smart money will be interested here. But remember, this is not the breaker structure. This led to the breaker structure. But anyway, if this makes the structure, we could look to, you get me, indulge in that, even though it's a bit diggy. But this Friday, obviously the week started. We haven't really won a trade today. We just had a break even this week. Just had a break even this week. If I was to just read something quickly, where was Monday? Monday was here. We made a Monday high. Tuesday, we came down. Wednesday, what did we do? Made our way up. Thursday, we made our way up. Monday's high was this point here being the supply. So ideally, we know that, okay, cool. If this finally came down and broke this low here, right? This low here, or even that low there. Let me put on 2 hours so you don't see that. So let's just say we've come down and we've broken this low here. This is the new low. Right? That got taken. The external low that got taken. Okay. So it looks like we're still in that. We're not in a normal protraction. We're still in that delay protraction. And this being an inducement that led the show for us to come down. Until this is broken, I can't be looking for shorts yet. But I mean, daily profiles on our side. I thought it might be a daily protraction. Because why? But anyway, price went from here after 12 o'clock. We went up a little bit, taking our Asia highs, and then we came straight down into this extreme that we spoke about, taking our decisional and coming to the extreme. On this one here, what does it look like? This point was the last point that led us all coming down to take out this external. It was a one push. Right? After we done that, we went up, came, took out liquidity, and that's driving price all the way up to the supply. But the supply, if we read it, is it the main supply that brought price down, or is it a decisional? Decisional, right? Thank you. Yeah, this point here came down, went up, came down again. We're still in broken structure. We just broken internal structure and we look bullish. I mean, we look bearish. But if we're to look at the higher time frame, what do we see? This point, we're going to make that high. From there, we came down, done a complex pullback all the way back down to here. This is smart money trap. They've been taken, tapped into the actual extreme. What else do you want? I want price to fly. Okay, so now let's look at it this way. What's all of this? Trend line, but it's not just because you see trend line doesn't mean that price is going to come all the way down. No, doesn't mean that. This is still demand. As we went down, came up, failed to break this low. From here, we went and broke all of this. So this is still demand, but it's demand based off this, but it hasn't broken structure yet. So we don't trade off them. We do trade off demands because extreme and supply. I mean, decisional and extremes are demands or supplies. However, I'm talking about the ones that hasn't mitigated the ones that we want yet. So for this instance, you could say from here to here would be the extreme, possibly. I'm gonna go and check. I'm gonna go and check extreme. Let's see. Yep, this one to all the liquidity here. Again, this is reacting off. What did we say is reacting off? After breaking, I wouldn't really call this a high though. Yeah, I wouldn't really call that high. I won't lie to you. If anything, this was a high that got broken. The signal got mitigated. Broke above it again. Mitigation. Flew up. Heading towards here. Anyway, we finally broken this, so I guess what EU was saying was right. EU said we broke decisional and extreme is further down to here. So I guess EU is right. I'm sneezing a lot today. What's going on? Maybe I need me a snoozer. A snoozolini. But yeah, man, it looks like this week we might not catch that one, but I got faith in German, man. I got faith in German. We got faith in German. I got faith in German. But this could be the trap. What time did that happen? 2 o'clock. Any 2 o'clocks. Ooh, this could be the trap. I don't know. But hey, we wait and see. We wait and see. We just want a breaker structure above. Whoa, did we get that though? No, we didn't. So we didn't get that. Right now, we're not interested in German right now until we see something. Let's go back on EU and GU. So let's do a thorough walkthrough of price action currently. So I don't know why I put this week there, yeah, but I think I must have been tweaking that there. Oh, I think because we tapped it and we didn't break this low, but we just come and done it, so it's not weak no more. So yeah, tapped into the extreme and we've come and broken this structure here, so we're bearish. Extreme has been broken from that internal range. Decisional, liquidity, for yeah, all of that. It didn't happen. This is a breaker structure now. Break of internal structure. Let me just delete these. Valid or not. Internal high, BOS. From here, we had the sweep and the BOS. But remember, this is also post. This is all post BOS of this structure here. See where I've got the external high. This is all post BOS. So ideally, it's not the decisional or the extreme of the actual range that we was looking at before. BOS. I'll explain it to you in a second. This is what I use to mark out my point of interest, because sometimes you might just get fooled. So if you're looking at this, yeah, think of it this way. When you see a BOS, whatever led to that, we have to come and mitigate it. The decisional and the extreme. That's how I see it. If you trade like this, it's easier for you to catch trades. So yeah, sometimes you're going to miss a lot of trades because you see these demand zones acting and playing along. But you know, that's liquidity. With further understanding, you might be able to start taking trades like this, because you know that we have BOS, we haven't had the breaker structure yet, we're having internal highs. So you can just join that trend and trade it until the trend crashes. However, the real trade we look for is BOS, decisional, and extreme. Right? Of this is the internal range that led to this break here. Cool. So this whole point will be a decisional and this whole point will be an extreme. But if you're looking at a lower time frame, this is the range. Look, we came and took out this low, tapping into this point here, which was the last point that led to this point here, right? Tapped it, including the fair value gap, and then we went up. Cool. So breaking this top bit here, what broke it? This point here led the show for us to go all the way there. Breaking this high, and that high. If we come lower, the whole point, this whole move started from here. So this will be the extreme. Oh, that will be the extreme. And then this, ideally, we just called it. It was a decisional that obviously it's fulfilled his job, done that. So yeah. So this whole move here. Let me just do this so we know. That's what happened from here to there. Decisional would be, if I was to do this, decisional would be bang on at 50. Anything below would be the extreme of that decisional, being the 016, 061. Damn. And then if we want to go all the way down, we could go down. But that's not important as of now. As of now, we just want to see what's happened. We had a break structure. What led to that breaker structure? What inducement led to that breaker structure? We had... Oh, that's why I'm not seeing my inducements properly. I'm not seeing my candles properly. Because we ain't got the dots. But anyway, we had this trend line of Asia taken. Bang on at 12. Then we broke structure here. And we've come and broken structure here. But this one led to the structure break. If I go on the M5, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, and then let's just go and overlay EU over that. EU. Okay. Oh, I thought I was... Okay, cool. Now EU. Let's do the same thing. Go on a 4H. Just to balance things out again. Make sure that all our things are correct. Alright, cool. So we had that inducement. Remember, this hasn't broken structure yet. This has though. But remember, this hit the efficiency of the pullback, which is the extreme. This broke structure. And it hasn't broken this point yet. So if we're looking at this, let's see it this way. This structure here, what broke it? We started from here, right? And we went all the way to here. So what led to that? We have the extreme here. And then we have the decisional. The decisional is what we need to find. Because what broke this? What broke this? It was right here, in fact. It was right there. Meaning that... Wait one sec. Yeah, that was before the move. So meaning this is obviously bamboozles. And that will be the decisional. So you see how the extreme and the decisional is far apart. So if we lose that decisional, mate, we're coming all the way down. But GU could be a potential major inducement. But let's just see something. If this is the decisional, we've broken it. Man, we're going down. We're going down, brother. We going down. And I got bare shit on my charts. Apologize. I'm going to clean it up next week. Because I forgot to do my weekly recap. Last week, I haven't really removed it. But I'm going to do it next. I'm going to do it for the week coming. But anyway, this is it. And you could say that decisional was taken. Let me just say it was broken. The open was there. It came down, violated, went up. Maybe we don't go lower again. But we know that the inducement that caused that was from here. So at this point here, ideally. But let's just go on a 45 quickly. Let's just see something. What's going on here? Came, took out all of this trend line. Still ain't tapped into none of this. Yeah, it's techie. It might be going down. I don't see that as a major inducement. Market is just looking all tapped. Let's go on to M1 quickly, see something. Until we have a change of state of delivery, there's no trade. The trade is still bearish. And the bearish idea is looking like it might fulfill. It's looking like it might fulfill. Because this point being broken scares me. This point being broken scares me. But at the same time, it could be a major inducement of a structural, or the whole POI being induced, and then you start going further up. Because ideally, what would you say this mitigated off? This mitigated off this. So we can just actually say that this point would be it. And we've tapped it. this has come and done the whole zone. So look, if we're looking at this, look, this is the high that was broken. Liquidity got taken here. And we basically just come back down, you could say, to come do further liquidity takens of this point here. You have to look at the market with two perspectives. Just because I'm saying is that we've taken, I'm not saying I'm going to jump into buy straight away, but I need to know what's going on both sides. So if a buy opportunity presents itself, I'm ready. And if we're just carrying on with the sells, I'm also ready. But yeah, so we can say that, you know what, this could be a major inducement, Asia low being taken. Where is that? Thursday's low being taken. Yeah. Thursday's low being taken. Oh, not even Thursday, I'm tweaking. This is a whole last week's low. Let's just go on a weekly quickly. Let's see what happened. Okay, previous week, we went up. Let me see this one. This is the week we're currently on. Yeah, previous week, Monday, we didn't take the low. Daily, have we taken any lows yet? Okay, we've come and taken out this Thursday low that I was talking about. But remember that the FEG below and what broke structure was not. We went up there, so it's down here. So we could be actually coming down, I won't lie to you. We could actually be coming down. I don't think liquidity is really going to come and step in and do a mazzoline right now. But let's see. We went up, didn't break the low. Where's the last high made? There was this point here. So we need that to get broken for us to consider the two-leg protocol for a complex pullback all the way to maybe there, or wherever it is. Hey, German, let me see. Have we broken structure yet? Oh, okay, so we react enough there. We ain't broken structure yet, though. But what can I see? Trend line being formed. And what's below that trend line? Fake demand. This is the weak one. I don't trade. And then this is the decisional below the decisional. So hey, let's see. Maybe we don't break this, and this is all the flow takes us up there. Because price is on this trendy thing. Then we go and take out this point. If that's not the case, we come take out the trend line, tap into here, maybe New York sign, we might get something. But if not, we come and break all of this. Then we're also bearish on that as well until we come all the way back down to these zones here to mitigate and go, maybe go further up or maybe go further down. Who knows? But so far, what we're reading is this demand zone is weak because this is weak, because this didn't mitigate either the decisional or the extreme. It just came down after breaker structure. It came down, filled this fair value gap, and it's going. So this is all engineered liquidity. That's how I just categorize it. It's easy for you to think of it like that than to say, oh, this. As long as the decisional and the extreme hasn't been mitigated, just see it as engineered liquidity. It doesn't mean that you can't trade within that engineered liquidity. You just got to be careful in it. But me personally, I like taking setups from these points here. Back to EU and GE. Let's see. Do we have anything yet? Okay. So remember we had the inducement here, which led to this breaker structure here. So what are we looking for? Shorts. I'm more on the short side here, BOS. I'm more on the short side here when it comes to EU and G, you know. So I'm starting to see that they both have broken structure and they both had an inducement there. Oh shit, this is thing. They both had an inducement there. However, this, what time frame am I on? Oh, let's go on the M15 quickly. We've got divergence, however, where this one didn't break structure, this low here, but this one broke the low. So this low would have been Thursday's low. This one didn't take Thursday's low. So I think one of them, the daily, Didn't take out no liquidity. Yeah, this one here. It didn't take no liquidity. This one made a high. This one didn't. This one reacted off an extreme zone. So it makes sense for it to do this. This one, it don't make sense for it to come break it. If it does, then here it, but it won't come straight away. So there's still an ounce of bullishness. And there's also a lot of bearishness right now. So I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet. But if we're going with daily profile, let me read this one here. Asia hasn't been taken. So we're basically in a protraction, a delayed protraction. And we could just be, don't know what's going on. This could all just be a build up. Right, we have this point here being the last point, which led to, probably these points here. Last points that led to those internal structures being broken. We had this high, got taken out here, went up a bit, came down, tapped into like basically the demand zone that led to this break. And so I had this there, here, open price to the wick. Alright, we'll just put it in blue for now. It's not decisional, it's just, I think some people might. I'm just gonna put it as demand. Alright, demand. Because where buyers stepped in here and pushed price past this point, this down candle here, we came and broke above it. Then we mitigated, kept going until we broke these, took out all of these liquidities. So yeah, what do we have here? We have leg number, I'm gonna say this is leg number 1, but leg number 1, leg number 2. We haven't had the official pullback yet, which would be right about, let's see this properly. This one didn't break structure away, this came and broke structure, so it would be from this point here with a fair value gap right there. So let's just cover that zone. Efficiency of the pullback. But yeah, man, that's what we're seeing so far. This ain't even on the 10-minute. So look, we had, if you find it hard to find the internal highs and internal, just go on the line chart, bro. Look, from this top here, it came and broke this point here. This is a range. Until we break and we've broken that range. Or unless we've had a setup here and we haven't had this, why take the trade? On the opposite side. Do you remember what we're looking at? Okay, we mitigated this demand zone here. As we said, it could be doogie. So we're not entering off that one yet. Just because we came all the way down, let's put it back to the actual point here. And then what did we do? We tapped it, took out this trend line. Where is it? Took out this trend line. Did we break this point here? No. This is how they get smart money traders, Well, Carl weren't lying. Until this is broken, bro. This move here, this sweep, and this little top bit being taken doesn't mean we're bullish. It does not mean we're bullish. I'm not saying that it might not break. I'm just saying it doesn't mean we're bullish yet. Because from here, we might just return and come further down. But anyway, let's see what happens now. So this is where the last inducement happened. What time is it now? 24. Okay, cool. See how when we make your trading mechanical, you don't end up seeing this and saying, let me get on in this demand because it's a demand zone, we're going here. What's the point? Tell me, what is the actual point? I used to trade like that. I used to just find demand zones at something like this, and I'll try to trade off it. Something like this, I'll try to trade off it. But it all didn't make no sense, bro. Because it weren't calculated, it weren't mechanical. You don't know what each one is. When you define it as a decisional and extreme, and you just trade off that alone. If you don't have that, don't take the trade. As a beginner trader, if you don't have that, don't take the trade. Just leave it. Just leave it. Because something like this, break. All right. Say this is a decisional. It got taken there. You're waiting for the pull retracement for you to then trade it down. It violates. It saves you. It doesn't let you get in. We take this. We come down again. We break this point. You're looking for shorts. Okay, cool. You get in. You don't get in. You won't get in straight. Me personally, I wouldn't get in straight away. Oh wait. We take this. Look what happens. We came, tap this break, violated, came, violated. Then now we've come down, taken everything. So now we have the breaker structure. However, it could be a build up, so we gotta be careful. But we do have the breaker structure. And then now let me check if it meets my pip counts and all them thing there. It's a bit too much. It's a bit too much. A bit too much. Because ideally we're waiting for this to be broken, right? But it's a bit too much. Let's go on to these ones here. Wait a minute. It's a bit too much. You're having broken structure, but it's a bit too much. Ideally, I would want something nicer. But I know we could bounce it and then go. 12 is a bit too much. We're going to M15. Yeah, 12 is a bit too much, especially because this is weak. And there's trend line here. I'm a pass on that one. I'm a pass. Because that could be the inducement. But it could go all the way up to here. My thing is, if that's the decision that I'm taking off here, 5, not worth it. Ideally, I should have gone in like this and put my BE here, though. I just realized that now. If I'm taking off the decision, there's no point covering the whole zone, so it would have been here. Add my BE. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Hesitation beat my ass again, but hey, it's not by force. If that's the decision, of course, that would have been I'll stop. We fucked up there. We fucked up. That's gone now. See, this week, yeah, just a lot of hezzy. A lot of hezzy, but it's part of it, man. It's part of it. We wait for E and G. When that gets broken, we'll be ready. But damn, this one here it made sense. Obviously, we're looking to take off the decision. I don't know why I wanted to put my SO at the extreme. I think it's because of what happened earlier on this week, where I took a position here and I put in fact, I made the same mistake. I put my SO here and it wasn't a 3R. But if I left it like this one is 0.5, it makes sense. BE right there, it makes sense. 1 to 3 would be right here. We would have got that. Damn. I woke up saying I'm going to catch a trade today and I missed it. It's part of the game. But you see, shit like this will have you going on tilt mode because now you're looking for the next thing. You might not qualify it properly. It's happened to me so many times. You see me, my biggest problem is not executing because what's the word? Like, I used to execute a lot that I had to tone everything down. So with toning everything down, yeah, I've basically become very precise in entering. But when I do that, it's like sometimes, obviously, it doesn't make sense. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to be overly precise because, like, let's say, for example, yeah, something like this, I would have been waiting for. No, I wouldn't say something like this. Something like, I want like let me find it. If you remember the trade on Tuesday, where I was calling that, yeah, the demand zone will get tapped and we'll go. Essentially, the reason I'm saying we'll tap it and go, because we already had a confirmation prior to that. Yeah, so it's like, I need to find an example and show you, look. Because sometimes, yeah, like for example, you want price to come to the decisional, do a tap, give you a confirmation, right? That's on a higher time frame, and you're using a lower time frame to trade that. However, if you're on a lower time frame and you're reading it, bro, you're not going to see a confirmation. The confirmation will be in the candle. Do you get where I'm coming from? So, yeah, man, that cost me a lot of executions, but I'm fine with that. I think as long as you understand it with yourself, that, bro, once you get your head around this and you start taking the entries, you should be alright. But this one here, obviously, I could have got in, but I rubbed that. This would have been a decisional, literally bang on decisional. I was just thinking, you know what, from here, this was a bit much. This had me thinking too much when I should have just said, you know what, if the decision I'm taking, take off the decisional. If I lose it, then we go for the extreme. But to me, that's a bit risky, man. It's not risky because it will play its part, it'll give you the break even. However, sometimes prices does a quick dive, taking out the decisional with a trend line here. We also have trend line here, and we're all acting off this week demand zone, which is engineered liquidity. So yeah, man. Plus daily profile is telling us something else. Between 12 and 2 o'clock, what happened? We're still below age range. So to me, yeah, man, it is a trade that could be taken because if we're not expecting the high to be broken, it's still going to respect the range of Asia and probably come and mitigate this one leg break upon here, this point here. However, we just failed to identify that, well, we're trading off the decisional, so we should put our stop at the decisional. It's something that I've been struggling with this whole week. And normally I don't like trading when the thing is 0.11. It's too much for me. I have to wait like an hour or 2 hours for me to even fucking get break even sometimes. That's long. I like my 0.5s, 0.6 to be exact. 0.7 is sweet, but 0.5 works too. But let's see what happens anyway. Does it hit TP? Because at this point, it would have had break even. It feels like this week I've just been forward testing. Joked, innit? But don't worry, man. The executions will come. When they come, you're going to be like, rah. Because when they come to go back to back, after a period like this, where you read price, build your patience, and you know what you're looking for. When you see it now, you're entering straight. Straight, you're in. But anyway, let's go to EU now. We'll come back to this, see if it hit TP. We missed that one. Alright, cool. So this was the supply. The supply has come and got taken out. Alright. The buy, we had that breaker structure there. So where's the next point? These points here that we could target. Where does that start from? We had this point here would be, let's just put it out here. What led to that break? It was this point decisional that was broken. So what is this trade? Could be a sell, but would you want to go there and do that? Not really. Yeah, I'm coming from. Gotta be aware, man. Fuck. Can't believe I missed that trade, man. I'm an idiot. Looks like it might just be a break even anyway. But today I was feeling a bit risky. Like, I don't mind taking a trade and getting a break even. So this week, I think we only had like one execution. The rest we just reading price and understanding it. But when we were reading the prices right, but we just didn't execute. We just didn't execute. But today is Friday. I thought, last day of the week, fuck it, man. Either a win, break even, or loss. I don't give two fucks. But at the same time, obviously, it has to be a calculated move that we're taking. It's not just, I see a trade, let me jump in. No. It's the end of the week. I'm expecting a price action to cool down. See, we would have had a break even if we got into that. So me not getting in or hesitating to get in with this point here. I hear it. I hear it still. But do we get a break even, or is price just gonna go? Oh, oh, 35. Can't lie, this week's been shit still. There was only one good day where the daily profile played exactly how it was meant to play, and I think it was on a Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. But that's when we didn't execute. Joking. But you know what? It's part of the game, man. We're building that thing in our head. But yeah, it doesn't look like it was gonna be a break even. Looks like it's gonna keep going. Let's see. Oh, we didn't break this bit yet. But ideally, what I was saying, this whole thing here is flawed. How do we know it's flawed? Because this point here hasn't mitigated the decisional yet. It doesn't mean that it can't still go up, because it could just keep building up. Just like how you saw on, was it GU? I think it was GU. Let me see. I'll show you what I mean. Just remember this point here. Decisional and the extreme hasn't been mitigated. I'll show you an example in German GU. Perfect. Look. What broke this? Cool. This led. Actually, no, yeah, let's use this one. There's this one here. Extreme decisional, yeah. And then we have this point here where price broke it, and then we just started bouncing up and up and up and up. What happened at the end? It all came and got violated. It's the same with this one here. What is going on here? We have a breaker structure here. Then we just mitigated this point here. It's not the extreme or decisional. After this led the show. We just came here and bounced up. It's at 50% of the zone, which is still right, meaning that we could just carry on going as we're doing now. But eventually we're gonna come take this out, and you don't know when. I don't know when. So, but this trade was valid. All the excuses in the world, this trade was valid. I just rubbed that and saw wrong and done this, so it looked invalid, because from here to here, like, bro, we have to come and break this high. That is not something that looks probable. But however, from the decisional, this point here being a decisional, which led to this break, if we were to take it from there, decisional, look, 1 to 3 before we even tap these points here. So it was valid. It was valid, and we're gonna hit TP, and that would be my trade for this week. But hey, a nigga hezzy, man. I didn't hezzy though. It's hezzy. I don't lie to you. It's just that I saw it wrong. I saw it as, let me put my SL here. It didn't make sense. But after price came and tapped it, I realized, shit, is a decision we're trading off. So yeah, this is why it's good to just mark out your decisionals and extreme, so you know. I didn't mark it out, so I'm just looking at the whole zone. But look, straight to TP. Ain't that a shame? Ain't that a fucking shame? But that happens to you in trading, man. That's what it really is. First, you learn, then you take bare executions. Then you get to a point where you realize, bro, bare executions is not the way forward. Then you decrease the amount of times you execute. Then you just reprice. You get annoyed that you see certain things pattern out and they go out. They go the direction it needs to go. And then guess what you do? You start taking executions. You start executing again, but in like a slow moderation. The next thing you know, you fully wrap your head around it, and you see the shit like at the back of your hand. Next thing you know, you're just entering, executing, and it's hitting TP. So currently, I would say that, we're in that stage now, beginning of that stage now. You know, we'll see. It's a journey, innit? You will see. You will see this week. No, not this week. Next week. This month, next week. Wherever it is. But anyway, we know that this is going to hit TP. Let's just go on. And yeah, man. This one's pain to watch, because this was it. This is the one that I was going to I was gonna be happy about the whole week. We sat on our hands. I had content planned for this shit. Fuck. It's not the end of the day though. Still got New York to play, but yeah, man. You just gotta charge it. It's a shame. It's a shame that we saw it and we said, you know what, it didn't fit in our stop loss range. But ideally, it did. It did. It actually did. Let's peak. And then I'm going EU. EU, what do I see? We hadn't broke the decisional. So ideally, we're coming to the extreme. This is a weak POI. So what can we say on this? We say, okay, this was a build up. Do we have a build up there as well? Okay, where's the build up? Right there, we also have a build up, inducement, push out. Build up, inducement, push out. So, if I'm looking to get into this, it's a risky trade, right? Because we have equal highs here. However, I'm feeling a bit. 1, 2. Fuck it, mate. Let's fucking have it. If we lose it, we lose it. We've just broken structure. And yeah. But before I do that, let's check the M5 quickly. Yeah, it's valid. EU sells. Chart. EU sells. Let's see some. Oh, fuck. Don't tell me it's gone already. Don't tell me it's gone already, man. I just literally got an MT5. Come on, brother. You know what? I feel like it's market execute, but let's wait. I'm looking for E to come further down to here. But first, before I do that, I need to see us tap into this point here, at least. This is what I want my entry to be. Around here. If we can get that, nice. If we don't, then it's peak. If we don't, then it's peak. I want us to tap into that point there. If we don't, then it's peak. I'm not really interested. I hope we do, because that would be nice. Reason I'm looking for that is the last point that sellers took control in. And we've broken structure here. We've coming up above this bit. We went up, we didn't make a lower low. We want us to do that too, like, and then come down maybe. Yeah, it looks like we're not gonna get that. This was the entry that we missed. What was that there? Break even would have been here. So we use the fair value gap, break even there, target in 1 to 3, be in the last point. Yeah. But you see that it looks up. It looks unrealistic because this is the last down candle. So okay, cool. It was actually here. But ideally, we know our price will come around here. So again, this one here can't really get in. We missed it. Fuck. We missed it. It's cool though. It's cool. Just gotta charge it. No executions. This happens, man. Let me go on a 2 minute. Let's see if there was a... Okay. He still hasn't tapped into... Oh, well. See? Joked, innit? See how it's ripping. I should have just market executed. But, listen, there's too much things that goes on, man. See if you market execute and price moves down a bit. Let's say it moved down a bit and then it came back up to mitigate this point here. Your break even would have been robbed and then price will carry on. So you got to be specific with your entries, but Hey, you will get there. We will get there. We will get there. You see what German was doing? Look at that. He's gonna do the same thing. We're gonna have a nightmare over weekend. Aren't we? Fucking nightmare over weekend. Joke thing. So this basically induced the whole point. This didn't. I'm even. Joke thing. How do you feel? I feel, man. I feel. But yeah, man. I think this week our problem was not executing. I'll be very honest. Our problem was not executing. Let me just put this as B. I'll put this as B just to show you that. But yeah, man, this week our problem was not executing. So next week we need to do a whole lot of execution. Precise executions. The ones that we know is right. Like for example, this one here. 1 leg break. Went up. Inducement 2 leg. Perfect entry. But if we go on a 2 minute, it's peak. To then come back, if price was to come back up, it's techie to get in. See why it's techie to get in. And yes, we can say that this is a weak supply, wherever it is, and we're coming down to here, being extreme. That led to the break. Extreme. So you can look to get into a re-entry around here. It's true. But hey, if that was the case, I should have just got in there. Pain to watch, man. Painful to watch, I won't lie. Painful to watch. Because I had plans for today, man. I had plans for today. But our system too has been filled with too much things that we don't execute. But yeah, yo. We will execute one day. And when we do, it will be all worth it. Trust me. This is how trading is. Is that you need to balance balance your mind, bro. Literally balance your mind. But yo, let's go on M15 quickly. Read something. To see how this will be a demand zone as well. Hence why there's a break-even protocol right here. And getting in again will be the dumbest thing you could ever do. I wouldn't say ideally the dumbest thing you could ever do, but come on, man. Read M15 again. What just happened? Let's just read it together. Yeah, look. We went from here, broke above here, right? And then we've come down to these wicks. Is that not where buyers were? Sellers brought price down, buyers quickly brought price up. That's why it's wicks. We've come there, tapped that. Cool. How did we tap it? We had a 2-leg protocol. Leg number 1, leg number 2, entry. Daily, I wanted entry around here, but entry came down, had our break even, and we tapped this point here. So upon this point here, what could happen? We could go back up because structure says we're bullish. Market cycle says we're bullish. Cool, we didn't tap into the extreme, but the extreme could be classified as all this point here. If we go on an M15, it's just that we refined it on an M1 to the last candle here or even here, but it's still the extreme from this zone onwards. It's still the extreme. It's just that we're reading on an M1. See where I'm coming from? So to get in here, very dark, brother. Very, very dark. And when we came here, what happened? We had a sweep here on GU of this trend line. So, Let's see what we get. Do we break that? If we break that, then sweet. Might be able to get in on an actual move. But this again would have been a trade that we took and would have got a break even. Hence what I was waiting for this zone here. Because when we tap into this zone there, I'm cool. Like, let's say right now, this point here was where we are now, like here. I'm fine with it. I would have executed happily. That one day everything meets up. When it's just a fair value gaps, I don't know, man. I feel like the algorithms bugged it, man. It's been patched. Because 2 years ago when I was trading fair value gaps, they were working. I could see it working. 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. But yo, in fact, I used to trade a strategy. I'll show you, look, where you have a candle here. Imagine they're bullish candles, by the way. Candles here and then candle here. I used to call it a 3-leg pattern. If I was to go on my journal, you see it. Then you have obviously the 3-leg break and some sort of structure on the left, yeah. This could be on an M1, anything. But you have 3 bullish candles, yeah. And then what you would do is this point here is your 50% zone. If I was to put the fib on there like this, yeah. So what I would do is I'll enter on the 5th. This is how my crypto strategy was. It was literally just this to 1 to this point here, 1 to 3. This is what I used to trade, and it used to work. It used to work until, bro, it just stopped working. I don't know what the fuck happened. It just stopped working, bro. Look, for example, another example will be here. Look, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. We didn't get the break, but let me see if I can find it. Do we have one here that I can find? Yeah, man. I think it's patched, man. We have one here. Look. 1, 2, 3. Breaker structure. This fair value gap. You see how we even had a little bit of a thing there. But normally that would have worked. Tap in here and we move down. But now we just come up and do some points and then go down. So it's all patched in it. That thing is patched. But this was the strategy before. This is what led me to understanding how the market moves and then diving into M1. I used to do this on the M1 or between like below M5 basically. And it used to hit. I'm telling you, I turned $5 to a bill before. Trading crypto after blowing 4 bills. My last 5, I flipped it back to a bill. And then my dumbass risked everything on that. And the same setup again. And it failed. And I lost the bill. But yeah. That's what used to go on. But anyway. To me, today there was only one trade that we could have got that would have went alright. Which was German. Fuck yeah, now. So even if I used this, yeah, I still would have been alright. Still would have got the 1 to 3. Joking, innit? German. I love you sometimes, but sometimes I hate myself looking at you, German. I hate myself looking at you. But yeah, man. Joking. But this was the right one. That one was not the right one. This is the one that made sense because we could get the break even. This one here, break even would have been up here. Yeah, it can hit. Not always though. But yeah, man, we just gotta charge it. I guess EU finally went and tapped into that point there. Let's see what happens. And then this point, it hit the efficiency of the pullback and it's coming back down to the last down candle. Yeah. So you tell me, what do you think is likely to happen? Does EU rip this through, or this is a trend line being taken and we move up and this moves up? Because this broke structure, this didn't. Higher time frame, this has also broken structure. This tapped into the efficiency. So this is like more compressed. This is more compressed. It wants to break the structure, but sellers on here keep bringing price down. But buyers are loading. They're loading. So I won't lie to you, yeah. From here, let's say we had something like this, yeah. I will actually get in here to ride to this point here. That's if we get this. If we don't, between now and 4:15, then what's the point, bro? No point forcing. We still got New York. But yeah. But yeah, man. That's the other side of trading. They'll tell you. You know what's going on, but you just execution becomes a bit of a problem because you want to be right. You see me, I fall on the side of Mr. Perfect, and I used to want everything to be perfect, but I realized there's nothing perfect in this world, bro. However, as long as certain things align and it makes sense, you should take the action that you need to take. And that one there, this one, obviously the action wasn't perfect, hence why we didn't take it, because we wanted entry to be here. All right. And then German, everything lined up. We came straight to the decisional, like on the T, the open. Look at it this way. We came tapped into this point here. So you don't come from, and then we moved. This one made sense. This one I should have taken. However, even at this, I should have taken because it's below 12. But I just thought, but I don't want to hold a 12 thing right now, bro. I don't want a 12 thing right now. It's a Friday, bro. Don't want my emotions going up and down, up and down, up and down, and that. And knowing that my break even won't actually be here. You could say it could still be here, but what's the point, bro? What is the point? But yeah, man, it's a shame this happens in trading. This is a reality, you know me, transparent. I'll share that with you. You're all probably going to go into this. You're either someone who is scared to take the risk at first, who doesn't execute a lot, and then later on you become Mr. Executioner. You know where I'm coming from? Where you take too many trades because you finally figured out something, which is good. Or you could be the opposite of that, where you start off by taking too many trades, but then you realize, yo, it's not the best. So you slow down, and then you come back again with more clarity and understanding and conviction within yourself. But yeah, that's what happens, man. That is what happens. So remember I said 415, if we were to get that, I'll be interested. Because EU obviously broke structure. We're making lower lows. This came also broke structure during London. Took out these lows, and when I made these highs, it came down, mitigated. It flopped this decisional, which led to that, but it came to the extreme. The extreme, remember, this is a whole, look, if you've watched ICT, if you haven't, you know that consecutive down candles or consecutive up candles is essentially one candle. So, look, from here to there is all, in fact, let's just bring it down to here. Yeah, here. But I wouldn't count that. Let's go on a 3 minute. It won't be there on a 3 minute, you see. Even if it's there, it will be here. We can't mitigate that. So decisional led to that. Extreme would be this that led to that. However, we can refine that further. Sometimes it doesn't do this. Sometimes you can refine it all the way down to that, probably out here. But let's just use that for now. To me, daily profile says we're bearish. So ideally it was a bearish move that we should have taken, but hey. See, now we've come and mitigated this. So imagine if I got in here, hit the break even, and price went. I would be losing my mind. Everyone will be losing their mind. Hence why you wait for the right entries. That's what I do anyway. So if I miss the trade for waiting for the right entry, hey, I'm cool. Some people are not cool with it, but I'm cool with missing a trade and seeing how I would have reacted. Because eventually, what that's going to do is going to build your, what's that thing that David Goggin talks about? Your classify your mind or something. I think it's calcify your mind or something like that. One of them. But yeah, you're basically calcifying your mind, bro, to what trade to take. Anyway, this went up, hit the efficiency of the pullback. This is the last demand that pushed us to that. If that don't work, then we can look to come further down. But anyway, cool. So we got something going on here. We tapped into the last point after reacting to the efficiency of the pullback. Let's see if we get this breaker structure here. If we do, then hola, mamacita. We didn't lose nothing. All right, cool. Let's see what happens. This is in demand. This has reacted off demand. Let's see. Do we break this? If we break this, then but yeah, it's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna give it 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes, and then we leave the charts. But German, man, I apologize. I apologize for doubting you, bro. We'll be back next week, or even New York. But I apologize, man. I'm very sorry. But you weren't meeting my standards. Weak trend line. But I guess we're bullish. Do you know where I'm coming from? So this in itself is enticing sellers to get into the market when they see a breaker structure, because they know that, yeah, this point and this point led to the breaker structure. This point is a manipulative move. We're just moving up. Could be either accumulation or reaccumulation. What the hell? What did I just say? Accumulation or reaccumulation? I'm tweaker. But yeah, man. Let me see something. You see you in here, yeah. That's crazy work. Crazy work. But German, I apologize, man. I should have known. I've been waiting for this zone to get tapped for years. Ideally, we wanted this to be tapped, but price didn't want to tap that and came all the way down to here. We knew that this was a smart money trap. We had that, so if price should just be wants to rip up, so it might not mitigate the right POI straight away. It could just keep going. Hence why you mark out these demands. Even though they're weak, they can still be reacted off it. And it's weak. The reason why it's weak is because it didn't make the breaker structure. However, after the breaker structure, it led to the new breaker structure. So it led to a new range without the mitigation. But it's 50% of the range, so it makes sense. It's the ones that are not 50% within the range. When I say 50% of the range, like from the decisional to the break, where did we bounce after the 50%? So it makes sense. You know where I'm coming from. It's a valid demand zone. It's not really weak. I only classify it as weak because we didn't have the decisional. But this happens sometimes, as I showed you on GU as well. But yeah, let's just leave that and just put demand. It was just a demand zone. But damn, man, I can't let the week finish off like this, man. We can't. We're giving ourselves the 15-minute buffer. 15-minute buffer. Okay, this came down. Broke this point here. No sells for me. No sells for me. But you see how even after this, there's no point in getting, even though you can do this, there's no point in getting in this. Cool, the extreme hasn't been hit, which is very true. But remember I said, if you go on an M5, where's the decisional? I mean, where's the extreme? The extreme is here. Bang on at the open. So now let's see something. From here, I want to see us make these highs here. From here, let's go, because we can just say, you know, this didn't tap into it, it's just trend line. So we had trend line liquidity as well here. Trend line liquidity as well here. From here, if we go, show some moves, then I'll get in. But our cutoff time is 4:15. We're not going above that. And that is just to, you know, that moves can delay by 15 minutes. But according to Mark daily profile, we are bearish. Daily protraction. So we're going further down. And we have, yeah. So let's see. Maybe liquidity might step in just to take us up a bit. Just to tap into these points here. But it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. I think the next trade might just be us taking this low and then maybe a retracement into that to carry on. But yeah. But it's a shame, man. German. I'm just going to cause PTSD again. Look at that. Look at that trade. And we know that this supply could be taken as well. So this could have been a 10R that I had a dream about taking today. And I fucking missed it. Fucking missed the trade. All because of dumbness. Oh. But yeah, man, this week, damn, man, I'm happy with how I read price, but I'm not happy with my executions. Not happy at all, man. Not happy at all. Okay, cool. So now we know that we're bearish fully now. We went up, failed to make the high, come back down. EU, have you come down yet? No, you haven't. Okay. Proper joke, man. But yeah, man, this is why you should always wait for the thing to happen. And you know what it is, yeah, I just deep something. I've tweaked out a bit. Because I know that time is fractal. Yeah. I don't know, I didn't understand this one. So ideally me saying, yeah, this is the efficiency of the pullback, this could be the whole extreme, wherever it is. That is true. That is so true. But I should have used the M5. I wanted an M15. It's just wicks. And the wicks, you could start them from here. So ideally, this move here would have been efficient to the pullback. But if I use the M5 now, I could have still got an entry of we haven't tapped into that yet. No, we haven't tapped into that yet. So when we went up here, there's trend line to target. This is the zone that I originally wanted to get in that we didn't get here. So I should have executed here. But hey, we didn't. So yeah, what can we learn from this session? What can we learn from this session? We need to identify our things properly. Ooh. What can we learn from this session? We need to identify our things properly. Because if you don't, you either miss a trade or you hesitate. But it's cool though, man. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking it's cool, but it's not really cool. I'm hurt. I had content plans for this, you know. And German is going to go and do the fucking 10-hour. I know it. I'm telling you, look, it's going to go and do the 10-hour. Should have just executed, bro. Should have just executed. We should have just executed. Damn, man. So weird. Looking at my MT5, yeah, had everything lined up. It's just that we didn't tap into it, so I didn't execute. But look at that. Pain. Oh well, that marks it up for today. I believe. Let's see. Did we get next? Where was the last inducement? This was the last inducement that led to the breaker structure. But if we go on an M5, was it a one break? Yes, it was. So there's no point trying to trade this one here, because price could come all the way back up. But let's see what we get. Because at 15, we know there's always something for us. We had this 2 leg. So ideally, yeah, if I was a bad boy, yeah, which I don't believe I am. If I'm a bad boy, let's see something here. I might be a bad boy. I might just be a bad boy and say, fuck it. Upon breaker structure, let's see something. I don't think I'm a bad boy though. I don't think I'm a bad boy to take the trades though. I don't think so. It's too close. Oh, this is pounds. Yeah, there's no. Let me see. Is there one thing about EU and G? If you want to trade it, just look for both of them to have an inducement. At least you know that they're both following one roadmap. There's no inducement, bro. So this is going to fail. But yeah, let's go on German. Let's see something. German might give us nothing. Going to hit that. Look at that. 1 to 10, broski. Oh, I'm hurt. That was the execution was meant to take, bro. Just look at your life, bro. Look at your life. Now, just looking at this. Executions, bro. We know what we're doing. It's just the executions. Executions what we're struggling with. I don't know what's happened. I think ever since I started content, I've been more reserved. But if I was offline, I mean, it's good that I've been reserved because the amount of trades that I used to take was ridiculous. Like my other fund that I blew, the 50k account. But I blew it because I ended up taking like 16 trades. Well, it wasn't 16 trades, 8 trades in a day. In 1 week. It was ridiculous. This was around May, which made me blow it. So from there, I saw that, you know what, I won't be doing that anymore. It will just be 2. But the 2 has to be calculated. I don't like, because sometimes, the 2, I'm trying to do 1 in London and 1 in New York. But sometimes in London, what happens is I might enter too early. I might enter not accordingly to my plan. And then I have to re-enter again during London, which will cause me to then re-enter again. Not re-enter again, but obviously I want to trade again in New York. So it's either I miss New York or I break my rule and trade again. So it's made me more precise with my entries. But this one here, everything met. I was just being a fucking Mr. Perfection and looked at this when really I should be looking at the decisional, because that's where we had a consolidation and we went up. We even had an inducement within it. That was my confirmation to do it, like, to take the trade. We had an inducement within it. We had this low taken, right? Then we came down, had the efficiency to the pullback, came down again, had this low taken, inducement, break a structure, buyers twice here, break a structure, the efficiency to the pullback will be here. We haven't had that yet. Brother, just take the trade. Just take the trade, bro. But yo, you lot are seeing it though, man. This is a journey. As I said, you're gonna see me evolve to be a more, you know. You lot are gonna see me grow to become a better trader. Let's just put it as that. Yeah. Because right now, I'll just say that, bro. Man's been trading Forex for about 2.5 years now. Yeah. The first year, we didn't get funded. In fact, we got so close. Them times it was a 30-day. You got to pass in 30 days. But I got a mad story for you lot. But basically, you passed phase 1, you got to phase 2. How we passed phase 1 was even dodgy. Bro, it was 8% in drawdown. And then, bro, them times I didn't know about risk management and all them things there. So I used to just enter according to the lot size that I see on the thing. So I think I must have just put in a brazy number. I just said, fuck it. I got 1 day left. It's a Friday. The 1 day is going to be basically on Monday. So what's the point? And I thought, fuck it. Let me just enter this trade. Enter. Them times I used to use weekly opening range, which is basically one side. Let me show you. So let's just go on, let's go on here. We'll do on GU quickly. So weekly, what you will do is you will have, is it all going to come back? I think it is, yeah. Okay, cool. You'll have this here, yeah, or the previous weekly range. Sorry, my bad. Let's just do this again. Previous weekly range, so it'll be this point here. Right, and let me do it the opposite way so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's do a different chart that is more clean. Yeah, let's use this one. Alright, cool. So what I'll do is, it would be something like this. I learned this from ICT, by the way. Weekly. Okay, cool. So weekly would have done this, but let's do it the other way around so we can just get the 2 point. But ideally, be the 2 point. So you know, like these points here, that's what you essentially do. But let's just do add the 2 and the 3, and then what I would do is, this would be, I forgot the name of it, but I'll show you. It should come up on here. Yeah, weekly 20 to 30% range. Yeah. So you see how I marked that out. Now let's go on a 4H quickly. What happened? What day was this? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Friday. Okay, cool. Monday. Yeah. So Monday, what essentially happened is the previous week's 20 to 30% range, but we tap into and we move. It was like a science thing that used to just, it's not even science. It was just like a normal thing, bro. Like price just always used to do it. I can go and show you multiple times in different charts. But obviously, them times I didn't know what inducement was. I just call it liquidity. But you had this, boom, price moved. Let's go on a different chart. I'll keep showing you like this. But I don't use this no more, innit? But at least you can pre it. If you want to use it, you can use it. But cool. Again, new week here. Different thing. Go from here to here. Where's the 20 to 30% range? It will be here. So if we haven't touched it yet, we can look to trade towards it. Delete this. Okay, cool. Let's go on M4. I mean, I'm gonna say M4, 4H. Let's find our Monday. Monday would be here. Wait, Monday would be here. Look how this is the range, yeah, or the weekly 20 to 30% range. It's just something I just used to use. That's why I used to trade. If you go on there, what happened? So Monday would be here. We opened within that. Went above it, swept, came down. Went above it again, swept, came down. But yeah, this is why I used to basically trade. So that trade I was telling you about on a fund, well, phase 1 2 years ago, with my forex. Is it my forex funds or something like that? Yeah, the one that went down. But anyway, I used to just trade this. So I think I've seen London, Asia get taken or something, and I've just slapped it on, and it went shoom. See how you get these mad moves when you tap into it. But yeah, that's why I used to trade until I realized, you know what, it's not predictable. I mean, it's predictable in a sense of it does it. It does it sometimes, but it doesn't mean it's always gonna do it. But anyway, I think that marks up for today. We're done. GU, let's see. Did it work out? Did it work out? See, I wasn't a bad boy. Remember, I had the thing here. I wasn't a bad boy. I would have taken this one, but yeah, man. I wasn't a bad boy, man. Today I was a good youth. I was a good youth. But the reason I wasn't a bad boy is we didn't have another inducement here. But we both had break structures, but hey, no inducement here. Now we're getting maybe the inducement. Let's see if it happens, but yeah, man. If I was a bad boy, I would have taken this. But yeah, that marks it, man. I'll see you in New York. That was it for today. New York, hopefully this hits 10R so we can scream our fucking mirror like, fuck, we could have passed their account today. But hey, we charge it. But yeah, man, that marks it up today. An hour 23 minutes, crazy. But alright, cool. Catch you in New York, innit? Hold it.